Welcome everybody to another episode of Off the Clock with Mo. This is something new that I'm trying to do today. Today I brought the podcast outside on my front porch. So you may hear some things in the background, cars, mopeds, kids,
birds, dogs,
all type of shit. But if I have it the way I want, but before while we getting started, it may be somewhat tipsy and may not even remember half of the stuff that's going on in the background. But if not, hey, having being out here in the open, trying something like this, and also doing something I always wanted to do, because I mentioned to you a little while ago, I wanted to do a podcast outside with cigars and bourbon. And since I don't smoke in my house, I figured the next best way to do it is to do it outside. So today, I brought two bottles out of my bar upstairs outside today. So today we're gonna try this Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniel Gentleman Jack. This is the Gentleman Jack. This isn't the original number 7 Jack. So we're gonna try something a little smoother because I think that Gentleman Jack goes better with cigars than the regular Jack Daniel number 7, the one that everybody's so used to seeing. I like that Jack Daniel because mostly I drink that Jack Daniel for shots, but that Gentleman Jack is a real smooth drink. The cigars, I think this might be your first time.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely my first time
smoking an actual cigar.
I smoked them Black and Milds.
Yeah, so this is your first time smoking an actual cigar.
I smoked them Swiss and Sweet wood tips.
So this is your first time actually smoking a cigar.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. You can't put these behind your ear or buy 3 in a pack and all the other stuff from the liquor store behind the counter.
I've been waiting on this. It's not too many things I get to experience, for a first time. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I like smoking cigars because, cigars are, for me, it's relaxing. A lot of times I sit out here and smoke cigars and have a drink, and I just sit out here on the porch and I just watch life as it goes by. Everybody living a different life, everybody doing their own thing, and I sit back here on the porch and I just relax and smoke a cigar. Some days I come out here after I get off work. It'd be 11:30 midnight, and I just sit out here and smoke a cigar after working all day and try to remove myself from work and try to relax, and then I can go to bed and get up and do it all over again without having to come home from work, go to bed, and then do it all over again. I want to forget about what all happened at work that same day, so I do this to help me relax and forget about what happened, so I can start over fresh the next day.
So it help you decompress?
Yeah.
Really?
Truly, it does.
I'm about to find out.
Yeah, it really does. I remember when I first started smoking cigars. One thing about smoking cigars is you have to smoke different ones to figure out which one that's gonna suit you best. Because what suits me best, you may not like it. It may not suit you. You may want to try to find a big ass Swisher Sweet or a big ass Black and Mild. You never know, but you got to keep doing it until you find one. And one of the ways that I did it, because with cigars, you tend to try so many of them, you forget the names because they're not like Newport 100s, Newport Shorts, King.
I mean, 1,000 of them.
Yeah,
right.
There's a whole bunch of them, and you're gonna ask somebody what's a good one. They ain't gonna know because they don't know what it is you like.
That's been my issue with it. When I'm looking, I'm like, man, it's a million of them. I don't know which one to get.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that, all right, if it's $50, it's a good cigar, but that don't really mean nothing.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what me as somebody who don't smoke cigars. I'm thinking that price really, but it does, but it doesn't have anything to do with it on what you like as a flavor profile.
Right.
Yeah,
a lot of people fall into that trap. And it's not even just cigars; it's everything.
Right.
The higher the price of something, the better it gets to be.
Right.
And that's not always true because it ain't best for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It may be best for someone else, but the price is just saying that, hey, this may have a high demand and a lot of people really like this. And in order for it to keep the supply, we got to raise the price.
Right.
But that don't mean it's,
really for you.
It's really for you. Right. I don't, I even went as far as I got an app that's called, it's a cigar app. And I forget the name of that cigar app. I forget the name of that cigar
You
app.
told me to, and I forgot it that fast.
But it's a cigar app that I downloaded, and what you do is when you get a cigar, what you do is you take a picture of the cigar. You take a picture of this cigar right here, and then you save it in the phone, and then it'll send you a feedback, and it'll tell you everything about the cigar.
All right.
It'll tell you if it's a real light taste, if it's a real smooth taste, if it's a mild taste, if it's a real strong taste or not. And so it really goes based off of your preference, and you just got to try it. And also on that app, it even lets you, after you smoke it, it lets you rate it and tell you and lets you tell what you think of it. So then it's in a database, and then it'll let other people also go off your.
So will it suggest? So if you find a certain type of cigar that's got a certain flavor profile to it, and you're a person that you're selling it on the app, and you want to try another cigar, will it give you a cigar with a similar flavor profile to it?
Yeah, they give you other cigars similar to them.
All right.
Yeah, they'll give you all, and then you also get to rate. You also get to rate the cigar that you just smoked, because you can't take the damn thing back.
Right.
So then next time you go into cigar place, inside the humidor or whatever, wherever you go, the gas station, the liquor store, the smoke shop, or an actual cigar place, you can tell them, like, look, I'm looking for this particular cigar right here because I like this particular taste right here, and just say they don't carry that cigar, but they know
The flavor profile
of that cigar, so they'll be able to point you in another direction, a cigar similar to that one that you like.
All right.
So I've been doing this. I've been doing it for some years now, and I finally found a cigar that I actually like. I go in there, I'm hoping they got it. 9 times out of 10, where I go, they always have it.
Right.
I haven't been nowhere else where they had it, so I know where to go to get it. There's a few other cigars out there that I do like, but for the most part, I really like this one here. It's called Blind Man Bluff. It's real smooth. It's not too light, and it's not too mild, and it's not too strong.
Right.
It's like right on the edge of being strong and being mild at the same time.
Right. So a perfect blend of it.
Yeah.
All right.
To where it don't leave a bitter taste. It don't leave a bitter taste in my mouth. After I smoked it, or even while I'm smoking it, it doesn't leave a nasty aftertaste in my mouth.
Right.
And that even goes with the different liquors. With the Gentleman Jack and the Uncle Nearest. And part of having a cigar and having a drink is that you want to be relaxed, and part of being relaxed is not having that aftertaste or that nasty bite afterwards. You want everything to blend in, together. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can keep on. You can turn, sip, smoke, where you don't got to put no gum in your mouth afterwards. You don't got to do like that afterwards. You ain't got to do all that shit afterwards. That's what you're really looking for. I mean, even you may or may not like the blend of both of them. It's just gonna take some time for you to find your blend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
But that's how I constantly do it.
We're gonna start with this today.
Okay.
This is what you recommended, what you suggested. So that's what they say. Find somebody who do it, and let them show you what they do and what they suggest. Then you figure it out from there on. So I'm gonna see what you got over here.
Yeah, we got. I poured Uncle Nearest. I think you poured Uncle Nearest too, right?
Yeah, I did pour them.
And the quick history. The reason why I picked these two right here. Well, it ain't the reason why I like them, and they like my favorite spirits to drink. And come to find out, sometimes you got to do your own research. You got to do your own homework on things, because if you just listen to people talk, you'll fuck around and be lost.
Right.
And a lot of people said that Jack Daniels didn't give Nathan Green, aka Uncle Nearest, his credit, and stole his recipe, and that's so much further from the truth. That is so far from the truth. You gotta realize Uncle Nearest, he was born in 1820. He was like 30 years old when he made Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels was only like between 7 and 10 years old.
Shit.
You know, and what a lot of people don't know is that Jack Daniels was actual Jack Daniels' actual real name is Jasper.
All right.
His nickname was Jack.
All right.
You know, and he was an orphan. And so in the 1800s, they ain't necessarily have orphanages and adoptions. If you was parentless, you was just out there. you was just out there. You was just roaming the damn streets and shit. You was just whatever would happen to you. People whoop your ass, rape you, beat you, whatever it may be. And he came across this guy named Dan Carl in Lynchburg, Tennessee, on a farm. He was a pastor. The guy was a preacher. And he had a distillery and all this stuff like this in his barn. And Jack Daniels fell in love with this, with the distillery and wanted to learn how to do it. And at the time, during this time, a lot of people used to borrow out their slaves,
Right.
because a lot of slaves knew how to distill liquor. Because a lot of slaves some of the slaves came from the Caribbean islands, where they had sugarcane plantations, and they learned how to distill liquor from the sugarcane plantations.
All right.
You know, and Jack Daniels was there, and he felt he wanted to learn how to distill. And the guy said, "Hey man, the best person to learn from is Nathan Nears, Uncle Nears, Nathan Green, Uncle Nears. Learn from him." And he learned from him, and he's given Uncle Nears all his credit. You know, it took 150 years because no one knew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because back then, you got to remember, it was easy to leave stuff out of your documents. You know what I'm saying? You could document stuff and leave shit out.
Right.
You know, Jack Daniel. I ain't got to put Nathan in here because ain't nobody gonna want to buy the shit. You know, or it was just common that you wouldn't put no black person name on no paperwork.
Right.
You know, it was just common, even though we could be best of friends. You know, while we in this distillery, while we on this plantation, while we anywhere, but
it wasn't good business practice in the world.
Right.
Right.
You know, and when Jack Daniel came out with a book in the 60s, and he mentioned
Uncle Nears.
Uncle Nears
All right.
plenty of times, because Uncle Nears was Jack Daniels. One, he was his mentor. He mentored Jack Daniel, and he was his master distiller.
All right.
And Jack Daniel said that he did not want to distill no liquor without Uncle Nears. If you give him a job, if you gave Jack Daniels a job as making liquor, he coming with me.
It was a package deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You coming? Nathan Green, Uncle Nears is coming with me.
Right.
Or I'm not doing it.
Right.
Yeah. You know, and like I said, you know, this was like in the 18. He was born in the 1820s, and so by 1865, they had got Jack Daniels off the ground. By 1865, that's when Jack Daniels first hit the market and got off the ground, and they started selling it to nearby counties in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
All right.
Before it started moving further and further, you know, going further and further as far as sales, you know, and Uncle Nears is known. He perfected what's known now as the Lincoln County process. And the Lincoln County process is a process that's is sugar maple filtered through hot coals with the water.
That's what you're saying.
It's with the water, and that's known as the Lincoln County process, because back in the day, people was getting sick off of liquor.
Right.
Anybody can make liquor any damn where and put anything in liquor.
Was that rock gut?
Yeah, it was called rock. People would get rock gut,
right?
And because they would sit there with these jugs in their hand, tilting them back, and anybody could put anything in them, and then they start, after a while, they'll get the coughing and throwing up, and then they be throwing up blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just imagine a whole county, several counties, damn near the whole state.
Sick and drunk.
Sick and drunk. You know, just going through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And didn't have anything for it. You know, so when you think about it, you know, Uncle Nears came up with the solution to allow people to keep drinking without necessarily.
He saved lives.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically. He saved lives as far as no rock gut.
And he made a whole lot of people happy. He put a lot of smiles on people's faces.
And they didn't know it.
I'm gonna know it here in a minute when I taste it.
Back then, they didn't know
I ain't had it yet. I'm still waiting.
Well, I mean,
Uncle Nearest is right here. He's near to me, and I ain't had a sip yet.
he always been near to you. Ain't never had a sip. Yeah. What's another minute or two?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we can taste it.
Oh no, I'm just talking shit. I'm
We can
waiting to
taste
get that
it.
cigar too. I want.
Oh, you want to taste it?
Yeah,
I'm
let
gonna
me
taste
see
it.
what because I ain't tasted it yet. Let me taste it for. It's got a different flavor than the Jack, but it tastes like Jack.
Yeah, don't take it. It ain't too far. For me, it's not too far
Yeah,
from
it's not,
from Jack. And they also say that Uncle Nearest was the very first black distiller, the first black distiller in the country. You know what I'm saying? But it took 150 years for them to get to that, for them to see that point, because he wasn't in no paperwork other than that documentary, and then the family that took over the Jack Daniel brand seen a bunch of.
So it took him that long to get his recognition.
Yeah.
For this to come out, so he could be recognized that, man, this is who did this, or who innovated this. We just wasn't able to do it back then, but we can do it now.
Right.
We recognize that this the man who the deal.
Yeah, because they just recognized him in 2016 or 2017
all right.
when they was coming up on their 150th anniversary of Jack Daniels, when a new company bought out the Jack Daniels original family, bought them out, and then they went looking through records and looking through pictures. And if you look at if you go online and look up Uncle Nearest, and he's gonna be in a photograph with a bunch of white guys, and the only brother in the middle taking this picture
is Uncle Nearest.
That's
a real shit for the new family to come out and like, look, baby, this is what it is.
Yeah,
and to put it out, that's some real shit.
Yeah, and then his family put out his brand in 2016 or 2017.
That's when they put out the Uncle Nearest brand.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's still new.
Yeah, it's still new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it just like I ain't never had it before. I'm like, I ain't never had it.
Yeah, it just came out like 2016, 27, like.
I've been drinking a long time, so I never heard of it till you said something about it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, the first Jack Daniel bottle went on the shelves in 1866, and it's been on the shelves, ever since then. But we can
that's what's up.
Get into this. We can get into this cigar, because with cigars, you got different ways of smoking cigars. You got different ways of cutting cigars. And one thing about cigars is when people. I think some people make this mistake. I made this mistake too when I first started smoking cigars. When I would be done with the cigar and was ready to go in, I used to put it out like a cigarette. But then I noticed the taste was different.
Right.
And then I started doing some research on it, and they say you should never put your cigar out like a cigarette, nothing. Don't pull the ash out. Don't do it. Just let it burn out.
Right.
So then next time you smoke it, it's still gonna have its original flavor to it.
Right.
You're not gonna mess around and burn the flavor out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna keep that flavor. You're gonna come back to it, light it up, and keep that same flavor. And some people like doing some people like cutting it. Like this what they call this?
Guillotine.
Guillotine cut. Which I think is kind of damn harsh and shit, because they back in the day probably put their head in here and snap the motherfucker out. So I mean, shit, I can imagine. But I used to do this, but then I found another way of doing it, and that's the punch. And I prefer the punch, because you just punch it in the back of the cigar, and you pull it out, and it takes out that little bit of tobacco. And for me, a punch cigar smokes slower and it's smoother.
So it actually pulls tobacco out and make it like a little hole?
Yeah.
All right, I want to see them both. You gonna punch yours? I was gonna guillotine mine.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna punch mine.
I'm gonna guillotine mine.
Yeah, and then for me, I just like the punch flavor, the punch a little better, just because it's, one, you don't have all that. Even though you don't inhale a cigar, you still got a pull on it, and you don't have. For me, I don't have all that tobacco, all that taste coming in, coming in all at one time. Whereas I punch it, and it's just coming straight through. Just that small hole that I'm punched in the back, and it's real. For me, it's smoother, It burns small. It burns slower, and I just like it. I just like it better personally.
I wouldn't have thought that it made a difference, but after you explained it to me, and I did my research on it, I see that it's multiple different kind of overs. They got a triangle cutter.
Yeah.
So everybody, it's their own preference. That's what, it's your own preference. Which one worked best for you?
Right.
But the guy that after he was talking to me about, I was like, I'm just gonna try the original rookie way that rookies do it. And there's a damn guillotine. You know what I'm saying? It's my first time. I'm gonna do it the way a rookie do it. Guillotine it. Try it. Next time I'll punch it.
You may like it.
I don't know. That's what I'm about to find out.
You may like it. So with the punch, I don't even want to open yours up.
Yeah.
And then also with cigars, I don't know why they do this at some cigar places. When you buy a cigar, ask you, do you want some matches? No, this ain't no damn cigarettes, man. I don't want no damn matches for my damn cigar. I'm gonna be sitting up here, that match is gonna constantly go out. And I'm gonna constantly be going back and forth with a damn match trying to strike the damn thing and put it on the damn cigar. No, I don't want that. I don't want no regular big lighter. I don't want no dollar store see-through lighter. For me, the best thing to get is a torch. To me, is a torch. You can it lights it quicker. You know what I'm saying, and you can light it evenly too.
And it's clean burning.
Yeah,
you don't need no.
Yeah, you don't get that because even with some of them lighters, even like a Zippo, you're gonna get the like with zippers, what you get is that what they call that ethanol.
The propane.
That propane, that fuse. You get that flavor, as you smoking it, because now you don't know, like, damn, shit tastes like the damn lighter.
Because that's what I was gonna use, right? I just bought a new Zippo, and I'm thinking, damn, I got me a new Zippo tapped out. I'm like, I can't use my Zippo.
No, you can't use the Zippo, man.
I just bought a new Zippo.
No, don't use no Zippo. You're gonna have all that propane smell.
Yeah, I understand it now. When you explain it to me and doing my research, I understand now. Like, all right, that's gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah, it's gonna ruin everything. It'll ruin everything.
It's gonna ruin everything.
Yeah, I don't even, like I say, I don't use Zippos. I don't use lighters. I don't use matches. I don't use big lighters, even though they say big lighters are the best. I don't use the see-through dollar store lighters. I don't use none of them. I don't use none of those. I've found that the torches are the best.
And then that go back to what you was talking about earlier. Once I did the research, where you was telling me about putting them out, stubbing them. Once I did the research, I see what you're saying, that it's going to mess up the flavor of the cigar when you go back to light it.
Right.
Because you're going to have that taste back. It's going to ruin the taste of the cigar.
Yeah.
I would never, if you're not a cigar smoker, you're not going to think about nothing like that.
Nah, you're really not.
Yeah, but now that I'm having to try a cigar, now I'm thinking about it.
All this is all trial and error. It's all trial and error.
I'm going to try this because this is what they told me to try on the video, bro.
And then with this here, you just put it in the back of the cigar. I kind of twist it from time. I kind of twist it from time to time, and then I pull it out, and then you have the hole right there.
Oh yeah.
You have a hole. You have a hole right here. And then with yours, I mean, if you scared, you kind of scared to do it.
That's what they said do it the first time, just for a beginner. Put it on the table.
How's it gonna cut on the table like that?
That's what they said do it. Put it straight on the table. That's what the video said. Then cut it.
How it come out?
That's the reason it's supposed to be, is less than a dime thickness. That's what they said to cut it. It worked out just the way they said it was gonna work out.
I ain't never done it like that. Yeah. I always just held it and did it.
I did my homework.
I always held it, but then again, I only used it a handful of times. I didn't really care for them. Yeah.
I just want to try it the way they said do it for beginners, and it worked out. It worked out good.
And then you get the I'm about to call it damn propane lighter. And, you get the torch lighter.
I like that better way though. I like that better when I see it because it kept that round end on it, not so open wide. I see what you were saying. So yeah, I think I like next time I'm gonna try this like this, but next time I'm gonna do them like that with the punch.
Yeah, these smoking cigars is a different
I keep bumping it.
It's a little smoking cigars is like I said, it's a relaxing feel. Once you start, I smoked cigarettes before. Nothing spectacular about it. You don't inhale the damn thing.
I know I did it. I ain't even ready yet. Because the guy said do a dry pull on it so you can see the taste. My dumb ass dry pulled on it, went down the gang. This ain't for no game.
No.
this ain't for no game. All right. Yeah, but he was just saying dry pull at first. I just wanted to see what he was talking about, so I tried that shit. But my dumb ass, I ain't never smoked a real cigar before. So
yeah, it's a different, it's a way different feeling than smoking cigarettes,
Right.
smoking weed, smoking Black and Mild, smoking Swisher Sweets. You notice, one thing you notice is that they advertise these damn cigarettes, these Black and Milds, these you know, dispensaries, marijuana. They advertise this shit in black communities. That's what they advertise this shit in black communities, but you don't never see them advertising cigars.
right,
Something that's gonna relax you, something that's gonna help you feel good at the end of the day after working all day. Even just anything, and but they all I find them always advertising the shit that's really gonna hurt you in black communities. Newport 100s. Like I said, even liquor. They're gonna advertise. I mean, I used to drink Hennessy, but they're gonna advertise Hennessy and shit like that in black neighborhoods. I've never seen them advertise Uncle Near's or certain Jack Daniels and black communities. I mean, one because I don't think a lot of black people necessarily drink certain liquors, but you won't drink certain liquors if you ain't privy to them.
right.
If you don't know anything, if you don't know about it, and everybody drinking all the latest tequilas and all the latest cognacs and stuff like that, you're not gonna broaden your horizon with different tastes. Because the even the history with cigars, come from the Mayans.
That's where it
The
comes
ancient,
from.
yeah, the ancient Mayans, in the early in the 10th century. In the 10th century, before it finally came, to the before it came to the United States. And in the 10th century, they would, just with the Mayans, they would smoke them out of palms, or they would smoke them out of plantation leaves, and then they made their way into the United States in like the 1800s, the mid 1800s, probably like 1850, 1860, where they saw like over 3,000 cigar factories pop up in the United States, and then they had a mess load of Cuban immigrants from Cuba in Tampa, Florida, making cigars. They had cigar makers that immigrated to Tampa, Florida, and Tampa's nickname, I don't know if it is now, but I know at one time Tampa's nickname used to be the Cigar City.
Did it?
Yeah, I don't know if it still is now, but I know at one point, it was known as the Cigar City. And I've always, that's one thing about, I always wanted a Cuban cigar. I always wanted to try a Cuban cigar, and I was mad. I wanted to go when Obama was in office because it was legal to go to Cuba when Obama was in office. But then your boy Hook got into the office, and we can't go there no more. Only people that can go there is terrorists at Guantanamo Bay. The only people that can go to Cuba now. I wanted to go to Cuba and get me a Cuban cigar, but we can't go to Cuba no more. But the only way I can get one is if I guess I get it illegally, and I sure enough don't want to get one illegally.
Friend, if going to Cuba is gonna send me to jail, I think I'll smoke American.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'm
pretty sure you can still go to Florida and get you one.
I'm sure you can, but it ain't the original Cuban cigars, because it ain't it's not their it's not their plants,
right?
Growing in Cuba in Florida. That's like a brief hit. You even got a shitload of like in the '90s. In the '90s, cigars really started booming. You really had a lot of celebrities. A lot of everybody was smoking cigars, especially celebrities. So when you see celebrities doing something, people tend to want to do it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I think back on it, you just see Michael Jordan on the golf course smoking a cigar. You just see him in the locker room smoking a cigar. You just hear about him on the plane smoking a cigar. You had even the Kings of Comedy with Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey smoking cigars. they used to get fined for that shit, and they would pay the fine up front because they're gonna smoke their cigar in the back in the green room.
I mean, kind of like more like an ambiance, the ritual of it, just soothing in it. You know, just the whole thing to go with it. It's an aura that goes with it. You know, a relaxing connotation to just go to the whole thought process of it.
Yeah.
You know, so
how you like the taste of the Uncle Nearest in the cigar? How you like the blend?
I like the way.
Cause the blend is I like the blend. I can drink this
I see what you're saying.
and
Where the
smoke.
cigar is not taken away from the taste.
Yeah.
Of the Uncle Nearest. That's
Nah. Go get you a Black and Mild and smoke it and see what the difference is. Get you a Black Mild or switch the sweet. See what the difference is.
And that's the first time I got a better taste out of it that time.
Oh, you did? Well, you probably ain't gonna get it. It's probably gonna take you till you get damn near almost to the middle to really
get the full flavor of it.
Yeah, to get the full flavor of it. Because once it starts, because you got to remember, you just burnt it,
right?
So it's gonna take a minute for it to get from the from the foot of it to the head of it.
Right.
I mean, once you get to once you get to the head of it, it ain't really. It's gonna be. You can throw this away now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But once you get to the middle of it, that's when you're gonna really get the flavor from it.
Right.
You're really gonna be like, oh shit, this ain't bad at all. I can do this all the time.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so it's just all it just goes down to your preference on cigars you like, or even the whatever drink you like.
I got to get used to not inhaling.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie and say I'm Bill Clinton. I'm telling you right out the gates. I inhale.
Well, go ahead and inhale that one then.
I just did on accident again.
No, inhale it all the way.
No, I ain't doing that shit. You ain't gonna have me throwing up on camera.
Yeah, you keep inhaling. You're gonna find yourself throwing up.
Yeah, I know that I ain't about to do that shit.
Yeah, but I only smoke during the I only smoke the cigars during the spring, summer, and fall months. Cause since I don't smoke in the house, I don't smoke at all during the wintertime. Shit, I can't. Me myself, I couldn't smoke this in the house. The whole house smell like one big ass cigar.
Yeah, it sounds like a damn cigar lounge.
Mm-hmm. Although they have some real good cigar lounges, and sometimes you could tell the good ones that have a good ventilation system. If you go in a cigar lounge and they got these wooden fans and shit just spinning around,
yeah,
there's a good chance that motherfuckers ain't got no good ventilation system. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in a couple of them. I went to one. Is a bistro out at Ferndale, and when you go in there, man, you don't smell nothing. You don't smell anything. And then I went to another one in Ferndale, and it was just a regular old raggedy, just put together one, and they just had these wooden fans just spinning, and all they were doing was just circulating the goddamn smoke in the building and shit. A little bit at a time was going inside the ventilation system, but not 90% of it. 90% of it wasn't in the ventilation system.
And that's what when I was doing the research on, they was saying that you first time really smoking one, you're really not gonna be able to tell the different flavors.
No.
And the different notes and things in it. So like don't be pressed about it. They just like enjoy the cigar and just they're like you're gonna enjoy it regardless, but you're not gonna really get the full. It take you a while to be able to develop the palate to be able to taste the differences.
Mm-hmm. Because you're gonna notice the difference if you get if they don't mesh, you're gonna notice the difference. You're gonna have this sour, like I said, you're gonna have this nasty ass taste in your mouth, and you're gonna be like shit. And then it's gonna be a lesson learned. You just know you don't like that cigar, or that drink don't go with that cigar.
Well, like you said, it's light in your mouth. It's almost like it's there, but it ain't there when I really get a hit on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been doing this. I've been for at least the last. What I moved here in 21. Yeah, so probably like since maybe 20, probably since like 19 or 20. I started. That's when I started smoking cigars, and then that's when I started trying to, put cigars together. Another good drink to me that goes with this cigar is a Maker's Mark.
That's what I was about to ask you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another to me that's another good one that goes with cigars, and I believe I don't have the numbers right now, but Maker's Mark is like right there with Jack Daniels.
Really?
It's like right there with Jack Daniels. It's not super bold, you know what I'm saying, and it's not super light either. It's just a smooth taste that you can put in your glass and put it on ice, or as some people would say, put it on the rocks. And Maker's Mark was I did a little homework on Maker's Mark, but the little bit of homework I did on Maker's Mark, if you ever drink Maker's Mark, the one way they was able to distinguish people to distinguish their bottles was that red wax dip. It used to be actual wax dip that they would dip it in, one to seal the liquor in, and two to be distinguished, to distinguish itself from other liquor bottles, because at that time, other companies started popping up. So everybody started having their own bottles because, once again, Jack Daniels and Uncle Near's um, put forth the a new bottle for liquor, because back in the day when people would make their own liquor, they used to carry around in jugs.
Yeah, that's what you're telling me.
Yeah, you walk around in one finger in the jug, and then you see pictures of people just drinking liquor out the jug. So Jack Daniel came up with his bottle,
I like that.
that box bottle. It was easier to transport, package and transport out, and his was distinguished. You knew his from anybody else's. And then Maker's Mark did the same thing with theirs, but they would dip it in wax to seal it. And then another thing they Maker's Mark ended up doing was overpricing their bottles, because we talked about it earlier when you said you thought something because it cost more,
Yeah.
it had to been better.
It had to be a better. Yeah, this has been somebody who don't know.
Yeah.
You would naturally think, just the way life is, you think, oh, if it say $50 on it, that's a good ass cigar. But not knowing that, man, you might find a $20, $15 cigar that you like that's better than that. That $50 cigar don't mean nothing compared to your taste buds, to your
Right.
palate.
And that's what Maker's Mark did. They raised the price on purpose because people thought like that.
Yeah.
People thought like that, and they had a regular. Their whiskey was no different than Jack Daniels. It didn't come from overseas nowhere. It wasn't imported. It was just the same oak barrels. Of course, with different ingredients, but the same old oak barrels,
Right.
aging process, things like that. But they raised the price up to make people think that they was getting something extremely premium.
When they what? It's just saying regular shit.
Yeah.
This is I'm gonna get.
And then depending on where you go, depending on what type of whiskey you drinking, is going to dictate how it's spelled.
Yeah, that's what you was telling me too. Yeah. Explain that to us.
So in Ireland, I think it's in Scotland and Canada, they spell their whiskey without an E. And Ireland and America, they spell it with an E. So if you go buy some Canadian Royal, that's a whiskey, it's going to be spelled without the E. You look at it, there's Jack Daniels, Uncle Near's, you're going to see it spelled with an E. And that's one way you could tell, what type of liquor, where it come from, where its origins are.
From,
right. So.
So have you ever tried the cigar with a white liquor, with a tequila or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
I haven't, just because I don't drink tequila.
Good, No,
because I just don't drink tequila.
I'm just saying any other thing other than a whiskey. You know what I'm saying? Have you tried it with anything other than a whiskey?
I've never tried anything else, because I went down. I tasted all the, growing up, I would drink different liquors all the time. I went through a phase where I drank vodkas. I went through a phase where I drank cognacs. I went through a phase where I drank.
How about gin, Seagrams?
I went through one day with that. I went one day with that. And quick thing, as you know, the less you hit the cigar,
yeah,
it goes out on its own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was saying earlier about you don't gotta
snub it out.
Yeah, you don't got to snub it out.
Yeah.
But I went through them phases of trying different liquors. I used to drink. I used to have like Absolute. I used to like Grey Goose. I used to drink 1800 when they first came out.
Is it something just strictly about the combination of the whiskey and the cigar to just go together? Is that like a thing or something?
To me, it is.
It's for you?
Yeah, to me it is. All right. You know, everybody different, but for me, it's just I found what it is that I like. You know, I went through the phase of drinking cognacs, drinking all the different Hennessy's, all the different Remy's. You know what I'm saying? The Martels. You know, I went through that. You know, but then when I started going through and getting the different whiskeys, whiskey was just my thing.
It was just seeming like, because when I was looking at, just looking up, the flavor profiles and all the different things, they just seem like they match.
Yeah.
The oak in the cigar, the oak taste, the nutty, earthly flavors, they match. So for me to go try and mix a vodka with it or a gin, they just don't seem like the flavor profile's gonna match.
Right, but I'm sure you can find a cigar that match it though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know but this specific, that's all right. This specific match, they match together.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
It just takes time to figure out what it is that you prefer. You know what I'm saying? It just takes time for for what it is that you like. You know, I wouldn't recommend to nobody busting this open and putting some weed in the motherfucker. I wouldn't suggest that.
What you thought I was gonna do with the rest of this when I left?
You gonna waste it?
No, I'm just talking shit.
No, you was gonna waste it
on the porch. So when I come here,
you was gonna waste them all. You was gonna waste.
Man, I ain't about to roll no. You about to roll? You gotta put in this.
Man,
that's like a half ounce of weed.
I don't think that you would care.
Shit.
Yeah, so don't go ruining it and busting it open, putting no marijuana in it.
No.
You know, just some things you got to leave be.
So how long do you the life expectancy on this after you light it the first time? How long before you just really know good before it went stale?
It all depends on if you put it back up in the
humidor.
Yeah, in the humidor or not. You know, then it depends on you. It's been times I done had these things outside for 3 or 4 days, and I come and smoke it again, and it'll be all right. There's been times I came back one day and smoked it, and the damn thing was horrible. It all depends. It all depends on you. Everybody is different. Some people gonna be like, man, I can't smoke a cigar unless it's been in the humidor. I can't. Once I put it out, I'm done with it altogether. Right. Once you just gotta figure out what's best for you. What you do good with. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about it.
That's what I noted when I was looking at the videos and the research. One of the guys was saying that they really ain't no cutoff point when you got to put a cigar out.
Yeah.
He said some people want to smoke it all the way down to the head, but he was telling me it's a cap in here, in all the cigars. So he said you don't want to smoke it down to there, but he said,
no.
But it's all up there. Some people come out halfway, don't want them. Like you said, don't want them no more.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to smoke it below the wrap. He was explaining. He's like, some people want to smoke it below that, and you get a different flavor profile when you do that. So he's like, it's all contingent on what you want out the damn cigar.
Right.
So that was interesting,
because if you smoke it down to here and you go to light it, just be aware. You may burn your fingertips,
your mustache.
Yeah, you may start burning some shit that's not the cigar. But this is, for me, it's just relaxing. After I done, did whatever work I done did around the house, whatever work I done did at work, whatever I haven't done, and I just want to chill for the whole day. I can just sit here and just chill for the whole day.
It's almost like fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going out there fishing, and you might not never catch a fish.
Yeah.
You gonna hit this all day. You might not never catch a buzz.
You ain't.
But it's in the whole. I know. But it's all in the act of doing it.
Yeah.
The relaxation.
Yeah. Yeah. You actually get a chance to get your grown man on. You get your grown man feeling on. Then you'd be surprised how many other people that be like, you tell them, yeah, I smoke cigars, and you're like, oh, which one you like? Which one you like? Oh, I like this one because this one does and that one does. And then you start getting ideas from other people what it is they like. You may end up trying it to see if you like it too. You know, because everybody, when you start smoking cigars and you get around other people that smoke cigars, or somebody overhears you or sees you buying a cigar, people start recommending cigars to you and vice versa. Before you know it, you start recommending cigars to people. Like you know, when you went to the store to get the cigars, and I told you which one to get, the lady was like, you was like, yeah, my buddy said he like this type of cigar right here, Blind Man Bluff. Oh, I know who that is. I go in there, I get it, and you know, I from time to time, I talk to some of the people that, you know, I talk to some of the people that's in there, but some of the people that be in there just be, you know, in and out,
Right.
in and out, which is fine too, because I'm trying to be in and out too. You know what I'm saying? But it don't hurt none to be like, try this too. And it's up. I mean, they don't have to, and you don't have to either. It's just people who smoke cigars, I don't know, tend to
It's a different community of people.
Yeah.
I found that out about watches. You know, once you start dealing with watches, it's a community of people that know about watches. So when you see a watch, you're like, oh yeah, that's that, this. And then they be like, well, let me show you this. I'm thinking about getting that. So it's a whole nother community of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that shit cool. You know what I'm saying?
That community is a lot different than the cigarette community.
I bet it is.
Everybody in the cigarette community want to bum a cigarette off of you.
Yeah, ain't nobody bumming no cigars.
Nah, you can't bum. Nah, nope. You gotta get a cigarette off. Nah, here you go, man. Let me get a Lucy. Nah, man. We a little different here. You know, the cigar community is a different community, man. When you get into it, and even though it's still tobacco, and it's they don't put the additives in it to hook you,
right?
Like they do cigarettes.
Oh, they don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah, like Newports.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't do that. Where you're like, man, I'm smoking one cigar, and that's gonna be it. And before you know it,
the lighting process is hard, like the man said. Yeah. It's hard to get this motherfucker lit the way you want. Cause your shit look pretty. That's the way he said it's supposed to do. Why mine won't do that?
This shit you knew.
Oh, okay. I'll just check.
Yeah, you knew. Once you start doing it and get the grasp of doing it, because I try to, you try and light it from the side and shit. I try to make sure I stay, even when it's uneven. Yeah. I still try to make sure I get around the whole thing to even it back up. Because like you damn near doing what they say weed smokers do, canoeing it. Ain't that what they say when you canoeing when it's burning uneven, on one side going further up than and the other part not going at all?
Yeah, when you try to send them up the river, you know, that's all right, man.
You knew it. You all right. You'll get it.
You hear how you gonna talk about me, man?
You'll get it.
Yeah.
You know, I just like the fact that, you know, even like I said, I take a sip of this and it doesn't affect nothing. You know what I'm saying? I take a sip and this taste and this taste don't overpower the other one. It doesn't take over the taste of another one. That's what I like about it. You know, but I think that for me, I think that Gentleman Jack is real good.
It's exactly what they said it is. When you swallow it, it's luxurious. That's what they say about it.
Yeah.
What they say about it is the truth. When you swallow it, it's luxurious.
Yeah. And you don't see too many people like, man, you smell like a cigar. Like they do cigarettes. You can smoke a cigar and I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it gets on your clothes, but it doesn't have that. I don't know if it's because you don't inhale it and it's not going through your pores or not, or what. But you don't, unless you trapped in the enclosed area, you don't get that. Damn, you smell like a cigar. You know,
I'll try mine like that next time.
With the punch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I tried all of them. They got the punch. They got the guillotine. They got a V cut. Yep. Yeah, they got a V cut, which the V cut, when it goes in, it'll cut this in, it'll cut that in, and when it comes out, it'll look just like a V.
Oh, straight up.
Yeah, it'll look like a V it'll look like two V's mashed together, so it'll look like.
All right.
It'll look like this.
All right.
When you punch it, when you do it, it'll look just like this.
All right.
And the whole thing won't be out. It'll just be like just that piece down the middle.
But I like that. Just I want that full round on mine, and like you said, focus the smoke through.
Yeah.
That leave too big of an aperture for the smoke to come through.
Yeah.
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 And I think, like you said, it would help in burning. And I'm thinking that's part of the issue with the way it's burning too. You able to control it better than you able to control it with this. The breathing is different.
Yeah, the breathing's a whole lot.
Yeah, the breathing is different.
Completely different, and it smokes slower. Because I think if you look at mine, even though I've been hitting mine
that's what
more
I'm saying,
than you, I've been hitting mine more than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And mine is still long. You may want to show them like this though.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? So mine ends up, smoking a little slower than yours, and we both been hitting it the same amount of times.
The light right because it's starting to cone like they were saying supposed to actually cone until I got it right.
Yeah, so I mean, smoking cigars it's relaxing. Some people look at cigars as luxury and showing sophistication. You showing that I'm sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? Some people I guess it also shows I like the better things. I mean, don't necessarily make it better.
Man, I think it's the white man's weed. We used to pay $10 for a blunt. White man go pay $15 for a cigar.
Yeah.
So it's a different status,
Yeah, well, you can get them by themselves. You can get them in a whole box.
I saw the price on them when I bought them when I was getting them. I saw the price of the whole box. I was like, damn.
Yeah, you get one box and be like 10 of them, be like 100. They can start off anywhere from $100 up to shit. It reached the clouds. That's how that's how expensive cigars can be. One cigar by itself can cost you $100 a month.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the ones I looked at. I thought that's what you wanted.
Oh hell no.
That's what I thought. That's what I was going to looking for. Didn't you hear me talking about this one only 39? This one only, this one only 27. I thought saying $50 cigar. I'm like, yeah. And shit, when I finally did see the ones you want, I'm like,
yeah, these only like $11.
It was 13, I think, something like 13.
Oh, okay.
No, it was $11.99, wasn't it?
They got like 4 or 5 different brands of this Blind Man's Bluff. So they got every style that you would want. If you want a mild one, if you want a light one, if you want one that's heavier,
yeah.
That's louder, for those that smoke weed, if it's louder or not. You want one that's gonna be real loud. That's gonna be like when you hit it, you're gonna feel it. And some people palates can take that. My palate can't take that. That bold.
Right, I like it once you made me understand what it is. They were saying like that you'll fuck it up for somebody on their first cigar if you get them something that's heavy.
Yeah.
So start out on a mild, some light one, so you can see what it is. Then if you want to move up, then you can move up to something heavier.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the good thing about cigars. And like I said, they go cigars and the liquor go hand in hand, especially whiskey. They go hand in hand because with whiskey you can get a bold taste bourbon or whiskey. You can get a mild taste bourbon or whiskey. You can get any flavor, any style of whiskey. My thing is with the other liquors is that the ones that at least as many ones that I tried is all just damn near one way almost. If you're gonna drink, vodka known for this particular taste.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna drink that gin shit is one particular taste.
Why gin gotta be shit?
Because that shit is traumatic. Yeah, that shit bring back. That's the trauma.
Look,
that shit bring
I'm
back.
I'm traumatized by that shit too. So
yeah.
I drank gin for a lot of years.
I drank gin for one night.
And nobody.
And I never go through it again. Matter of fact, my mother gave me when I first moved in the house, I got the bar in the basement where I do the other segment for Off the Clock with Mo in the basement at the bar. And when I first got the house, she gave me this damn big ass fifth of a Blue Label gin.
Bombay?
I don't know. I just know it said gin on it. That's all I had to read was gin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll take it.
That's all I had to read was gin.
Yeah, that's all I had to read was gin. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll put it in the bar, but just trust me. If you ever find this thing open, whoever drunk is a pure alcoholic. They are pure alcoholic. And I will never drink this shit here. Yeah, you fuck around and drink some gin and try to light a cigar, you'll burn the whole house up. You'll burn the whole house up.
Man, I don't know how I ever drank that shit so long, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Oh.
You might need a kidney test to see how your kidneys is functioning drinking that shit.
Yeah, that Cigars, that bumpy face ain't for nobody.
I don't even know how they allowed that shit.
And look, I hate Tanqueray. Tanqueray's supposed to be a better gin, but Tanqueray gin is
gin is nasty.
Yep, Bombay gin, nasty.
All gin to me is horrible. I would never drink I would never ever drink another gin a day in my life.
Ever.
Never, ever.
Man.
Never, ever. I'm gonna try this Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, I've had the Gentleman Jack before.
I've had it before. It's my favorite. It's my favorite Jack Daniel. And but with the even with the other Jack Daniel, one of the things that people don't know, I guess it's an urban myth with the other Jack Daniel, the number 7.
Yeah.
A lot of people think number 7 mean how many wives Jack Daniel had. Some people think the number 7 mean the how many times he tried to get the ingredients right for the Jack Daniel. And shit, if you ask me, I think it's just there for looks.
Right, just for aesthetics.
I think it is, but I'm sure it's a meaning behind it. Because everything has a meaning behind it, but I just think it's just there to I think the meaning behind it is just there to have people guessing.
Symbolism, yeah.
Just to have people guessing. No, it's this, it's that. My uncle said this. My grandfather said that. Yeah,
just a talking point.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
It worked.
Huh?
It worked.
What worked?
It worked as a talking point.
Numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. Shit. People still talk about it, and sometimes you don't even gotta say, give me the Jack Daniel. Some people just say, give me the number 7.
Right.
And if you a bartender that know what they're talking about, you're automatically gonna know what number 7 means.
All right.
You're not gonna have to say, give me that Jack Daniel right there, the black label of Jack Daniel.
Right.
You're gonna be able to say, you can say, give me number 7, and they're gonna know exactly the difference between that Jack Daniel and the Gentleman Jack Daniel, or all the other Jack Daniels that they got. They got single barrel Jack Daniels. They got.
That's what I saw today too. Was it single barrel Jack, or the single barrel Uncle Nearest that they was talking about?
Well, they got single barrel Uncle Nearest.
Yeah.
But I got a single barrel Jack in the basement as well.
Do you?
Yeah. It's the one thing about liquids is liquids don't come in no definite shape or size. So when you look at the single barrel Jack, even though it's a 5th, it don't look like it's a 5th because of the shape of the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's a 5th and it's single barrel, and they got so many different flavors. They got your typical whiskey, they got your rye whiskey, they got all that, and a lot of that stems from the barrel. That's what the oak barrels. The oak barrels give whiskey its color. Because before they were doing oak barrels, whiskey just had they had to put like something like a carotene in it to give it a color.
Yeah, the caramel color to it.
Yeah, and that's what would get people sick.
Oh, straight up?
Yeah, that's what would get people sick. So when Uncle Nearest was able to talk to with him and Jack Daniel was able to come together, they start putting them in oaks. And that oak gives it the color and it gives it the taste.
The flavor, right? The taste.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what them barrels do. And they sit so, that's the reason why they age them. You can't just put it in the barrel and then be like, all right, next week we're going to open this up.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to take a minimum of at least 2 or 3 years.
For real?
Yeah. For that barrel to be ready. Of course, the longer it sits in that barrel, the more potent it's gonna be.
3 years?
Yeah, you got some barrels that take 10 years before it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, but I just didn't think like just the basic.
Mm-hmm.
Just the basic. 3 years sitting in that old barrel.
Yeah, and they just rotate them barrels. They
Right.
just it comes up. It's time to it's time to do. It's time. It's
Right.
time. It's time. It's and at one time, everything back in them days, everything was put in barrels. Water was put in barrels.
Right.
Any type of liquid they used to put in barrels because it was easy to transport. Whatever
Right.
liquid you had, it was easy to put in the barrel and transport. And then they realized, well, I could distill this liquor and put this liquor in a barrel, and it's gonna give it its taste. It's gonna give it its potency. It's gonna give it its color too. That's the and they start putting shit in barrels in the 1800s, which made it easy to transport on trains and shit. Back in those days.
This is gonna be the funnest part of me right here.
Was
So,
that
this right here?
what lightning?
Yep, and playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm a firebug. I like the fire, just messing with the fire.
Well, you go ahead and play with it.
It's relaxing to me.
Oh, okay. Well, relax then. So I want to do some. I want to do some more. I want to do some more of these. Outside. And bring more people on. Talking about what cigars they recommend. You know what I'm saying? What whiskeys or what bourbons or whatever liquor that they like, they recommend, and what cigar goes with it. Because I know it's a million other cigars, it's a million other drinks out there that these cigars, go with. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's a cigar that will go with a vodka.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a cigar that will go with a tequila. You know what I'm saying? Especially with tequila, being Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And I know, and with Cubans, even though they, I don't know, Cuban Spanish.
So if whoever's watching, if you know a good cigar to go with a vodka, let us know. Come on the show and let us see what it is.
Yeah, I would like to see what that. I would like to see what will go with a vodka.
Yeah, I want to
Even
know.
though I don't drink vodka, but I would like to. I would still like to know what goes good. What cigar goes good with a vodka?
Yeah,
I may even try the vodka.
Some other people might want to know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? What go good with it?
right. Mm-hmm.
I want to try that other cigar that you be getting, the one that you down to.
Oh, that Maker's Mark makes a cigar too.
That's the Maker's Mark cigar that you.
Yeah,
Right.
see, because the place I got it from last time, I kept telling them I want orders. I used to go in there specifically because they were the only ones that had it. But then the guy just never. He would always say, "I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get some,"
Right.
and then never get none.
Did they get them at the place where you had me go today?
I haven't seen them there. I didn't even ask for them there.
Oh.
But but if you ask me, if you got somebody coming in your store, in your establishment, and they done pretty much bought all your damn cigars because they're probably the only person smoke. Oh, and you want me to, because I'm gonna buy, anybody that's gonna buy a cigar 9 times out of 10 is gonna not just buy a cigar. They're gonna buy something to go with the cigar. So you look at your average cigar sale being probably like saying like $11. That's already $11 in tax that you got for the day. And then that don't include whatever bottle of liquor that you're gonna buy. And that bottle of liquor that you're gonna buy that goes with it, if you know what you're doing with it, that bottle by itself is gonna be damn near $30-something by itself right there.
Right.
And if I keep coming in here once a week or so often or whatever it is, and I keep why would you not keep doing this shit?
Well, when you know you got a $40, $50 sale coming,
Yeah.
guaranteed. You heard what my man said. What is it that he want? We'll order it.
Yeah. That's it. That's yeah, that's doing good business, and then that's also word of mouth. When we come on a segment like this and smoking a cigar, or we ain't doing this segment, but we just sitting around just chopping it up and talking and smoking a cigar and having a drink. Oh yeah, I got this cigar right here from over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's gonna bring somebody else over there just as well each time. But I don't know why he never got the cigar. It's this liquor store on Dix and Champaign. I like the liquor store.
I like them too. They cool.
Yeah, I like them, but the guy hard headed. The guy hard headed. Because to be honest with you, I probably would have started with that one first. And
That's what I thought you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, when you was, I'm like, I know which one he smoked, and that's what I was thinking was the Maker's Mark. But that's not what you told me. So I'm like, oh, he wants something different.
Yeah. Now, if it was there, if I knew it was there,
Yeah.
for sure I would say, yeah, get that, and then I would have brought the Maker Mark bottles out.
All right.
You know, the Maker Mark bottles out as well.
Because they absolutely go together.
Yeah.
They made to go together.
Yeah. That cigar is dipped in it.
Oh, straight up?
Yeah. It's dipped in Maker's Mark.
All right.
However they dip it. I'm not saying they just open the bottle and dip the motherfucker in there.
But I'm not even sure if I drank Maker's Mark before. Did you pour me some Maker's Mark before? If I ain't had it here, I ain't had it before. Yeah, I don't think I had it before.
No. But that's another one. That Maker's Mark is another one that goes good with cigars. But for me, just a lot of bourbons go good with the cigars that I like.
All right, so what about George Burns? What was he drinking when he was smoking his cigars?
I don't know what he was drinking.
You don't know?
I don't know what he was
drinking. That would
drinking.
be interesting to know. What did George Burns smoke with his cigars? Let me drink with his cigars.
Yeah, and what cigar was he?
That he was actually smoking.
Yeah. You know, but you gotta look. You know, back. You know, all them entertainers. You know, you had the Rat Pack. You know, I think they smoked cigarettes. Didn't they smoke cigarettes?
I know Sammy Davis smoked cigarettes.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Dean Martin. I'm pretty sure they all were smoking cigarettes.
But you have a lot of celebrities that smoke cigars. Like I said earlier, you'd always see Bernie Mac smoking a cigar all the time. You know, on tour, smoking cigars. You know what I'm saying? Paying the fine to smoke the cigar in the green room.
I think because at the time, especially for black men, it was a status symbol. So black men wanted to show that separation, so they started smoking cigars, and they did it defiantly. Because that's what you're saying. They did it defiantly, man. This level of people, we'll pay for that. We gonna smoke. This is what we do. We don't pay $5 for 20 cigarettes.
Right.
We pay this for one.
Yeah. And I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna go on stage.
Right.
I'm gonna do my set, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna finish it off.
And it better still be there.
Yeah.
Here go y'all money for y'all fine.
And then you had Michael Jordan out there on golf courses, smoking cigars, waiting for his turn to swing the golf club. You know, you got a lot of celebrities, a lot of entertainers, a lot of some athletes that smoke cigars.
But it's because of what comes with it. Once you see what comes with it, it's not just the status symbol. It's an art to it. It's a science to it. You know, where you say, all right, I'm smoking this cigar to taste this. I'm looking for this. I know at this point I'm going to get that out of this, and that's what I'm looking for. So it's an art to it. So it's just not about the visual. Yeah, it's an actual, some involved in it that you get a value from.
Right. You know, the only thing I saw that, and Michael Jordan's last dance when he was smoking a cigar, he was drinking a beer with it. And beer, I mean, I've drunk beer with the cigar, but it just don't, to me, a beer just don't mesh.
Right.
To me, a beer just don't mesh with the with cigars. You know, I've drunk beers with it plenty of times. Just didn't.
So did y'all hear that? All you beer drinking cigar smokers need to come out with y'all Coronas and y'all favorite cigar and tell us what it is. I'm interested to know.
Yeah, some people like it. I don't like it. I don't, because when I smoke a cigar, I like to enjoy it. Because if I smoke a cigar and I have a drink, one thing, having a drink don't make me go to the bathroom. I gotta smoke a cigar and I drink a beer. I mean, I'm going to the bathroom quite often. I mean, I'm coming right back and having to light this cigar back up again.
Right.
I mean, even though I'm doing it now.
Right.
But it's a difference between going in, coming back out, doing it again, drinking a beer, going back in the house, using the bathroom, come back out, do it again. I just like to have a drink, relax. Sometimes listen to music.
Because I want to see because I drink high noons.
Well, drink high noons.
So I want to see what it's like or what to go with. But that's a vodka and fruit juice and seltzer water. What to go kind of mix with, because I'm not really a dark liquor drinking. I drink white liquor. I don't drink gin no more. I don't drink gin no more, but I'm not really a dark liquor drinker.
I say give it a try and see what, and you're just gonna have to keep on trying it and see what, see what fits it, and then.
But then this the problem though.
What's the problem?
I'm a cheap white liquor drinker. I drink Bacardi. White.
I mean, it's a rum.
Yeah.
So rum go with cigars.
Yeah, but I don't.
That's from the sugar. That comes from the sugar canes.
I want to step it up to a different, rum. I don't want to be drinking Bacardi with my cigar.
Well,
my cigar costs more than my whole fifth. That's a problem.
Well, drink Captain Morgan's.
I ain't no big Cap Morgan fan. That's Spice rum, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a spice rum.
I ain't no really know.
Oh well, then when you go buy the cigar,
Somebody give me some suggestions.
Yeah.
Put in the comments a good rum, a good mid-tier, mid-level rum with a nice cigar.
I mean, they got dark Bacardi. They don't got this white Bacardi.
I don't like dark Bacardi. I'm saying I only drink white. I don't like dark liquor really.
I
ain't when you ever know me drinking dark liquor.
No, you're doing it now. So
that's because we doing a podcast.
Oh, you asked me when the last time.
Yeah.
You know.
You never seen me drink no damn.
I'm seeing it now.
You remember what happened last time we drank some dark liquor?
What happened?
Man, that's when we was kids at Mark House, and he had us drinking that 5-star and that Jim Beam, nigga.
Mark?
When we was at Mark Knowful House.
Oh, you talking about Mike?
Mike, yeah, had us drinking that.
Oh yeah, that was his brother Mike and his friends.
Man.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, they was underage drinking. We was under, and that shit,
you fucked up.
Yeah, that was $7 for a fifth. Yeah, that shit was that.
And we was mixing it because it was 5-star and Jim Beam.
Mm-hmm.
That shit scarred me.
Oh,
I remember your ass tripped up a curb on Eureka Road. That shit was hilarious. Yes, your ass
did. You ain't got to be drinking a triple a curb. Everybody done did that plenty of times. Misjudge they step.
You can justify any kind of way you want to.
Mm-hmm. Everybody done did that before.
That shit was hilarious. We was fucked up that day.
That was.
How old was we, man?
I don't know, probably like freshmen or sophomores in high school.
Oh, man.
Something like that.
They used to get us in trouble.
I know it was something like that because back then, because they used to have all type of shit over there. But yeah, anybody that got any suggestions for Kurt, Doodoo, whatever name he want to use, day or tomorrow.
I don't use all the new pro names and stuff like that, man. I don't identify as whatever they might be identified.
You got a pronoun? You just got
no, I ain't a they or them or none of that.
I don't know if you a Doodoo or a Kurt.
Hey, that ain't no pronoun.
Well, what is it?
That's my surname.
Oh,
difference.
Okay. Okay.
It's a difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, if y'all got any suggestions, go in the comments. Tell them what it is that's
especially if somebody drank high noons and you got a cigar that you like with the high noons. That's a vodka and a seltzer water. If you got something to go with that, let me know.
Yeah, let him know. Tell him because he don't drink dark liquor. So all my suggestions is gonna be with a whiskey. Some of it's gonna have an E. Some of it's not gonna have an E. I like some of the Irish whiskeys. I like some of the mostly Irish. I think mostly Irish whiskeys because I like Jameson and I like Proper 12.
I ain't even heard of Proper 12.
Yeah, Proper 12 is Irish whiskey with that MMA fighter promotes it.
Oh, which one?
The one that Mayweather fought. He Irish got the.
Oh, you talking about Conor McGregor?
Yeah. He sponsors that bottle, and it actually that's a real good smooth bottle.
Yeah.
That one's real smooth. I like Proper 12 and I like Jameson Black Barrel and the regular Jameson. I don't like the whiskeys with all the fruit flavors to it like orange and apple.
But that's what they say is in this. And here's he got a hint of the orange peel.
Yeah, there's a hint of it, but they promoting
it's prominent in the other. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, they promoting that this is
just a hint of the other one that's prominent.
Right,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care for a Crown Royal. I never really cared for Crown Royal. You know what I'm saying? But then they start putting all them fruits in. And for me, I think when you start doing that, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think that you're trying to get women involved in drinking your whiskeys.
Right.
When you start putting all them fruits in there intentionally. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever because if I ask my girlfriend or I asked you know, my sister, somebody like that. Hey, here you go, try this. No, I don't want that. That's too bold for me.
Yeah.
But now if I say, well, try it with the apple, okay.
Right. I would rather though. I think that the brown liquors are sweeter. You know, gins and vodka's not really sweet.
Well, that's because they got sugars in them.
Yeah. So
Brown liquors have sugar in them.
that's what I don't really like about the brown liquor. I don't like the sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what turned me off on it, is the sweetness to them.
Yeah.
When I drank my liquor, I wanted to burn.
No, I don't want shit to burn.
Oh, I want to know I'm drinking some shit I ain't supposed to be drinking.
Nah, I ain't no damn car. I ain't combustible. I don't want to put this.
I want the same thing that I drank to be able to run my car.
My stomach is not a gas tank. You are not going to have me running.
Man, that's gin make you. You ain't got nothing else to do after you drink them.
Oh no, I don't want that shit.
Man.
No, I don't want that shit. But
I prefer the rum though. Now that I started drinking, I like the rum better. I'm gonna step into a better rum though. Another level of rum. And not even that much of it, because I don't really drink that much liquor no more. I'm stuck on these high noons.
You know, that's another segment that I want to do one on is beer.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do another one on beer, and I think I want to touch on
when you made beer, that fake ass Heineken is so good at the airport. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say
so good at the airport.
Yeah, when you selling that shit at the airport,
I ain't selling shit at the airport. I was working at the airport when I was making it.
You was selling it to people who worked at the airport.
Maybe I did. I don't remember.
You were.
I just remember making it. I just remember going through the whole process.
That wasn't a bad beer you made, Mo.
You don't think so?
No, some of the batches wasn't as good, but you made a batch that had a Heineken. I'm not a Heineken fan either. I don't really like Heineken because it got that skunky taste to me. But it was a batch you made that was a good batch. You gave. Remember, I had a whole bunch of. I was drinking at home and shit. You made a batch that was a good. I thought you were saying you were selling it to people. Somebody who was working at the airport.
Maybe I did. I don't remember, but I remember I was working at the airport when I was making it. When I was making that, because they used to have this store out in Plymouth that sold everything that I needed, even the hops and the barleys.
Right.
You know, and then the store shut down, and I ain't nowhere else to go. Back then, there wasn't no internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no internet. It wasn't no TikTok stores. It wasn't no Amazons. It wasn't no none of that. You just had to know where to go to get the shit.
Yeah, but you was making and bottling your own at home.
Yeah, you know, I had the bottle cappers.
Yeah.
I had the whole
barrel kit, everything. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, I had the whole the buckets. It was buckets, the spigots, the weight that you put in there when you ferment it to see how much alcohol content is in there. Yeah, I had all that shit. The bottle cap, I had the caps in the bottle capper to put on there. Yeah, but that's the next segment that I want to do outside. Is I want to do one on beer, because beer in America has a distinct history just as well.
Right.
You know, because just a small snippet of it, of what I'm gonna talk about, is that, you know, before they was able to purify water, because water used to kill people.
Right.
Because you would get your water from the lake, the river, wherever, and you don't know what was in that water.
Right.
Back in the day, somebody could have been floating in that water dead. And you getting water, and now people getting sick and they was dying. So what they did was, since you had to distill, you had to when you made beer, you had to pretty much like cook it.
Right.
And that would purify the water. And people would drink beer in the place of water.
Yeah.
Because they knew it was safe. And then they would even prescribe you beer. So even during prohibition, when they got rid of all alcohol, if you look back, they would have advertisements of Anheuser-Busch and other beers saying that this is a health tonic, you know, and they were saying that liquor was bad for you, because liquor was bad for you because people was dying from it.
All right.
Because of rut gut.
All right.
And beer would say, hey, we're a health tonic. We help save people because people are drinking beer instead of water, and water is killing people.
Right.
And it took Uncle Nears, who came up with the whole distilling of liquor through the charcoal processing. that purified the water to where they wouldn't get sick and they was able to drink liquor.
Right.
You know, so that's gonna be my next segment that I want to do. You know, do out here. You know, on the porch. You know, and talk about that as well. But I don't know no cigars that go good with beer. But even though that's not saying I won't drink beer and smoke a cigar though.
Right. I bet your ass drink a lot of beer.
Yeah, cause I'm about to now.
I know. I'm trying not to open this high noon because I don't have to go pee.
So that's you know, so I think this segment turned out to be, you know, pretty good. It's starting to get dark, you know, and I think this segment went pretty good. And like I said, I want to do some more segments with the
all you cigar smokers come out.
Yes.
All you cigar smokers that watch it, I know some of y'all that I know watch it and smoke cigars. So come on and have your cigar conversations.
Support that. And I thank you again for showing up for another podcast. I think you on probably like about 100 of my podcasts already. You know, so I thank you for coming out, supporting the podcast, and drinking brown liquor for the first time. I ain't gonna say for the first time, but drinking liquor and having a cigar for the first time, and having Uncle Nearest for the first time, and having, you know, this Jack Daniels and the
I always have a story.
Yeah.
For my first time having a real cigar, drinking Uncle Nearest for the first time, I always know exactly where I was at.
Right.
My first time. Hey, he took my damn virginity.
Don't pause. By no means am I Fleece Johnson or affiliated anywhere with the things that Fleece Johnson likes to do.
Okay.
Pause. I have never taken no man's virginity. Pause. No Diddy. All that shit. No homo. Pause. No.
You
Diddy.
gotta say no homo after that. You can be like,
Yeah,
no homo.
Yeah. None of that shit. No. I ain't took nobody. I ain't took no guy virginity.
Oh shit. Oh man.
But once again, thank you. And like we said, leave comments, subscribe, likes, and if you have any suggestions on any other cigars, any other bourbons, whiskeys, vodkas, anything to do with sipping and smoking, just leave a comment and come sit on the porch with me and have a drink and have a smoke with me.
Yeah, and comment your favorite cigar. I want to know some different cigar brands. You know, comment your favorite cigars.
And that's going to be a wrap. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Off the Clock with Mo. And I think I may even start calling this segment, you know, have a little more to drink with Mo.
A little more to drink with Mo?
Yeah.